our November 2022 sales meeting. We got a bunch of stuff to cover for today. But as always, I want to remind everybody that knowledge is not power, execution is power. So as much as we appreciate that you are spending the next 45 minutes to 1 hour with us, we want you to take away something and execute in your business. So with that, let's check out all of the exciting announcements we have. First, I want to say welcome to the Dimicali and Gracie team that just joined LAER Realty in the last week. Their office is in Ashburnham. They do an incredible amount of business, but I wanted to say welcome to Corey, Diane, Mary Foley, Robert, Patty, Beth Ann, and Danielle. So welcome to our new team and our new office in Ashburnham, Massachusetts. We also have some other agents that recently joined at our other offices. Want to welcome Jan Seal in Wellington, Marty Ensign in Salem, New Hampshire, Mike Lee in Athol, Mike Supernaut in Dracut. Alyssa Griffin is our new happy agent host in Dracut, and we want to welcome Derek Martell, who recently joined our talent acquisition team. Let's talk about our closing numbers for last month. So this is our October closings. We had 254 closings for October at $118 million in sales volume. Here's the breakdown. Massachusetts, we did 195 units, followed by Florida, followed by 20 in New Hampshire. I want to just remind everybody, this is not quite accurate. This is based on where our offices are located. So for example, in New Hampshire, we definitely did more than 20 transactions in New Hampshire. These numbers are broken down by which state the agent's primary office is. So our primary Massachusetts offices, which do business in New Hampshire, did 195 units and 95 million. Our Florida offices did 39 units, and the agents that are located in the New Hampshire offices did 20 units at 9.5 million. Let's take a look at our top 5 teams by volume for October's numbers. We have Button & Company came in number 1, Silver Key Homes came in at number 2, Dan O'Connell and Associates 3, Rogers Mello Team 4, and Sullivan Realty Group came in 5. So this is our top 5 teams by volume for our Massachusetts offices. We then have our top 5 individuals by volume for agents located in Massachusetts offices. Deb Malone came in number 1, Sharon Narbone 2, Jim Calwait number 3, Barbara Twist came in 4th, followed by Martha Celli number 5. Next, let's look at our top 5 teams by units sold, transaction count. Number 1, Silver Key Homes. Number 2, Button & Company. Number 3, Dan O'Connell and Associates. Number 4, Rogers Mello Team. And number 5, the Results Group out of Tewksbury. Next, we have our top 5 individuals in Massachusetts offices. We have number 1, Deb Malone. Number 2, Sharon Narbone. Number 3, Brenda Albert. Number 4, James Calwait. And number 5, Paul Roulette. This says top 4, but it's actually top 5. We're a little rushed this morning getting our presentation put together. So top 5 for October. The Fulford Group, number 1, Marie White. Number 2, Pro Homes Group. Number 3, Platinum Realty Group. Number 4, and Jesse Jean, number 5. Let's take a look at our top 10 agents for Florida by sales volume. Number 1, we have Matt McLaughlin out of our Naples office, followed by number 2, Giswaldo Team, Jane Levin, Ashley Ouellette, Robert McKean, Janet Campbell, Chris Donnell, Elizabeth Stewart, Jose Alcibo, and Gaston Diaz. Congratulations to our top 10. by volume for Florida. Also, our top 10 agents by unit sold. Number 1, the Gesualdo team, followed by Roberto Ferrar, Matt McLaughlin, Janet Campbell, Jose Alcibo, Elizabeth Stewart, Jessica Zagara, Lisa Rogers, Jane Levin, and Ashley Ouellette. So we have been updating. So we're going to go live this morning on our LAER Career Den. It's going to show you our numbers. Sergio, this says November. We have to update that. It's October numbers, but we're going to go live with this. So as a reminder, basically within our Career Den, you'll get an email notification that we've updated the top 25 lists. And if you go into that article within the Career Den, if you scroll to the bottom, there's a link to all different social media pieces. So if you're on the top 25 list and you want to share it, then you can download the social media pieces, share them to your social media. And we have both the top 25 lists and then all the individuals. So like top 5 teams, top 5 individuals. So all the state numbers as well. Let's take a look at year-over-year numbers. So we've said for the last several months that it's a new normal market. Lots of new challenges in the market. The biggest challenge, of course, is the fact that the interest rates continue to increase. So we're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes. But that means for all agents, all of us are going to have to we're going to have to work harder to do the same amount of business as we did a year earlier. And we can see that in our numbers. So for October 2021, last year, we did 323 closings at 154 million. And you can see 2022, we did 254 closings at 118 million. So that is the tightening of the market. It's every brokerage. It is the market in general. Our business is changing. We are still slightly ahead of our year-over-year numbers, not by much. Most likely for year-end results will come in neck and neck with our last year's number, somewhere around 1.5 billion. And then moving into 2023, we are going to have to keep growing, expanding, finding new niches to go out and stay busy for 2023 under the new market. So our year to date, we're at almost $1.3 billion in closings. So our hope for the end of year is to do about $100 million in November and $100 million in December to get us right to that 1.5 billion in year end. I also like to point out that these are just sales. So this does not include, we do a lot of rentals in some of our markets, especially our Florida market. So this is just the units closed for residential, mostly residential and some commercial sales. So I've gone through this list a million times, but quickly, we are the voice of the new normal real estate market. We are the voice. So when you are out talking with buyers and sellers, you really have to start memorizing and knowing how to discuss the new normal market with clients. So number one, our rates higher, 100%. They're basically in the 7s now. A higher rate is potentially better than a much higher price. So don't forget that these buyers, although the buyers are having to pay a much higher interest rate, they are buying the home, they're not buying the loan. So the loan is something that can always get refinanced at a later date. So 12 months ago or 8 or 9 months ago even, the buyers could have gotten a much lower interest rate, but in that market, they were finding they were going to have to pay significantly over the market value of the property. Now that is no longer the case. So they're paying less for the property, but a higher interest rate. Number two, most sellers are buyers. So while there's interest rates are heading up, there's still opportunity out there for sellers who need to downsize or upgrade. And we're going to talk about some really specific niches that you can build off of in this new normalized market. The good news for all of us is inspections are back. Home inspections almost disappeared in the last 3 years. Inspections are good for us as real estate agents. They're good for buyers, of course, so that they know exactly what they're buying, but also they're good for sellers because it prevents a potential lawsuit down the road. Just because a client was not doing an inspection didn't mean that there couldn't be potential problems which they would sue on later. So inspections are good for all of us. In this new normal market, what's great is sellers need real estate agents, even more so than they did in a market where you could just stick a house on the market and get several offers. So sellers need us more than ever to help them market and help them understand how to navigate in this new changing market. There's more agent opportunities. Open houses are back. Expired listings are back. For sale by owners are back. So as you're planning your business for 2023, look at how you can dive into some of these areas like the open houses, helping your fellow teammates host open houses, expireds, for sale by owners. Itemized deductions are back. So just something to think about when you're talking with your potential buyers. When the interest rates were in the 2s, itemized deductions basically were gone. So when we do our taxes each year, we have the option to do a standard deduction or an itemized deduction. Well, for the last 20 years, one of the big selling points of owning a house over renting a house is that you got this itemized deduction. You could write off all of that mortgage interest. Well, those itemized deductions disappeared because rates were so low that there was the standard deduction when doing taxes was actually higher than what the mortgage interest deduction was. So it's something to keep in mind because that deduction, the itemized deduction of mortgage interest, helps slightly offset that new higher payment that the buyer may have. Next, there's going to be fewer agents out there. We will see as the market begins to adjust further and tighten further, but also as realtor dues become available. Typically in the start of the year when realtor dues become available, we begin to see a mass exodus of real estate agents. So the good news is for all of you guys that are working to create a career in real estate, there'll be a bigger piece of the pie for agents that want to have a career. Faster closings. When the market was crazy, it was difficult. It was like a challenge at times to get a deal closed in 60 days because the mortgage teams were overwhelmed. So we're back to fast closings. And always remember that real estate is deemed safe in a volatile market. So not only is our market changing, but the stock market is super volatile, and real estate is typically deemed a safe investment over time. And always as a reminder, owning is better than renting. So there's still huge opportunity out there. There are millions of people that are still renting. Renting is as expensive as owning a house, but at least you have the benefits of home ownership. Let's talk about some of the niche business opportunities for you guys in 2023. Sustainability is going to be an interesting and important niche. We're one of the first real estate brokerages in the country to have a chief sustainability officer, and Craig puts on amazing training programs constantly. I'm going to share with you guys a couple of training programs that are coming up in a minute. But the reason why sustainability is going to become such an important part of our business is because of home heating costs and energy costs. So as you're planning your business for 2023, think about how you can incorporate the education around sustainability. How can you talk about sustainability? How can you help potential buyers and sellers find ways to save money on energy costs? So sustainability is going to be an important niche. Estate planning. So when you think about the new normalized market, many times real estate agents are nervous because they say, well, we have all of these people who refinanced into interest rates of 2% or 3% or lower over the last few years. That means that these people can't sell their house, because if they want to downsize, they basically have to pay more, which is true. The interest rates are significantly higher. So that means that a certain segment of buyers will disappear. People that maybe would have downsized might not downsize now because they're going to pay the same amount for a smaller house potentially as their bigger house. But by the way, the cost of energy for that bigger house can play towards making it still worth their while to downsize. But there's certain niches that people have to sell no matter what. So for your 2023, you should be looking for an estate planning partner. So attorneys that specialize in estates or helping families plan what will happen with real estate upon death. Also divorce. So the other reason people will continue to buy and sell real estate is we all know the divorce rates in our country are around 50%. So no matter what, there's always going to be people who need to sell and buy their properties. I think some opportunities for us are veterans and first-time buyers. So veterans specifically, because there were so many potential veteran buyers over the last few years, and they had a harder time getting offers accepted, because when there's 50 offers on a property and you're going in with your veteran who has low or no down payment, it's really difficult to get that buyer's home accepted. So veterans are going to be an opportunity. By the way, I'm going to send out an email today. Veterans United on Veterans Day, this Friday, is going to do just a quick seminar for us. If you can't do the live version, we'll record it, but they're going to do a quick seminar for us by Zoom on the VA mortgage, like how to talk about the VA mortgage with your veteran buyers, how the rates work, how the down payment works, how much money do they really need, who actually qualifies, what happens if they've already used their VA benefit, things like that. First-time buyers are going to continue to be a really good niche, because still buying a home is better than renting a home. 5, Airbnb. We did a fantastic program on Airbnb. You can find that class. This was just in the last 60 days. We did a great class on Airbnbs, and you can find it on the youtube.com/LAER training. And the reason why that's an important one is because there are a lot of second home owners who have a second home that they don't rent out. They don't Airbnb it. But we can go find those owners, people who have second homes who are not Airbnb-ing, and talk to them about the potential that they can upgrade their second home, buy another property, and then Airbnb their old property. So that's important niche that we're going to see. Next, 1031 exchanges. So as a 1031 exchange, which is a like-kind exchange in real estate, we as real estate agents can go educate clients who have, for example, a 3-family that they've been renting for a long time. They can exchange that 3-family for potentially a property that makes more money than their 3-family. So they could exchange their 3-family for a 6-unit, for example, in a different marketplace. So we are going to be hosting a class. We've done this class before, and you can find it on LAER University on 1031 exchanges. But we are having Lynn Bagby come back and do a class for us at the end of this month. It's the last Wednesday of the month. I think it's the last day of the month. I'm sending out an email on that this afternoon. For those of you who want to see exactly how the 1031 exchange works and how you can incorporate that as a niche into your business. And then last but not least, another niche that I think is a huge opportunity is commercial real estate. Interestingly, I closed on a building last week for LAER, and I'll give you guys an update on that in a few minutes. It's a commercial building, which what's really interesting about it is the interest rate was 5.5%. And I literally just closed on that on Friday. And I was talking to my loan officer and I said, why was the rate so low? And he said, there's an interesting dynamic right now that commercial rates in some cases are actually lower than first-time home buyer rates or residential interest rates. So I believe that commercial is going to be a really interesting niche. And with that, I invited my loan officer, Steve Spillane, on to talk for a few minutes about what are the opportunities out there for commercial financing that our agents should know about.
How you doing, Stacy? Thanks for having me on today. Nice to meet y'all. Yeah, so as she was mentioning, we are in a very unique situation where the residential consumer rates are running around the same and sometimes higher than the commercial side, which is just not standard. So, I mean, right now the bank rates are getting up to that 7%, we're in that 7%. We're seeing, a good amount of stuff still in the 6s. But like I said, for some programs and stuff, we can even get down into the 5s. So, which is really what our job is as a commercial mortgage broker, is to make sure we know where to put that deal for the best terms and rate and things of that nature. A little bit about what we do. We don't do consumer lending, so nothing personally owner occupied. We can do residential investment properties. You mentioned Airbnb, do quite a few of them. I'm actually working on some ground up construction of single family homes like on Martha's Vineyard that are going to be for the purpose of Airbnb. We can do purchases and refis there as well. We do a lot of fix and flips. We do a lot of ground up construction in the 1 to 4 unit. If it's for investment purposes, either to flip and sell or to hold and rent. And then we getting into the commercial side, the 5+ multifamily and your office buildings, industrial, hotels, retail. We do all that as well. And then kind of the last thing is business owner occupied. Somebody owns an auto body shop and wants to buy the building they're in, or restaurant, really any type of business. We also handle those types of transactions. So we're business lenders as well too. So when we come together with those business owners, if you run into those types of scenarios, we can help them out with financing on both sides. So, but half the business we do is with banks. We've got a network of hundreds of banks locally and around the country where we are national commercial mortgage brokers. We do a ton in Florida, all through New England, Texas, through the Midwest, to California. So, and we've got, like I said, Stacy mentioned, we've got access to some really good lenders that, from a rate and term standpoint that, that are beating the market right now.
So a couple things I want to mention is I think that there's huge opportunities in going out and finding commercial. So for example, Steve mentioned, let's say somebody has been in business for a long time and they're renting their building. These are conversations that we as real estate agents have to ask, like the people that we're doing business with. What are you paying for rent? Why don't you buy something? And then coaching a potential buyer into buying, because I know for a fact from just talking to real estate agents, and we're the ones that are educated on what is possible in the real estate business. So many people don't even realize that they can buy a commercial property. And Steve has helped me with, I don't know, probably close to 20 commercial mortgages over the last many years. And when I first started buying commercial real estate, it was not a 20% down payment. That is something that over time I was able to do, but it all started. So Steve will help you place a potential buyer or let them know what the opportunities are. So he does work with hard money lenders. In fact, my first property that I bought was a 7-unit, and it was originally a hard money lender at a very high interest rate. But I saw the opportunity in it. And over time, Steve helped me buy that building, refinance it twice, and now it has a nice low interest rate and a positive cash flow. So really nothing is off the table. If you have somebody that wants to buy the building that they're in or look for a commercial building, it's worth talking to Steve, because like he said, he's got hundreds of potential banks or lenders, everything from like a credit union, which helped me with Steve helped me through a credit union with my recent sale, to hard money lenders. Anything you want to add to that, Steve?
Yeah, you mentioned that one thing to restate on that you said, lenders love what they call rent replacement, which is where you've got a business, they're renting a place, and they're going to buy that place or they're going to buy something else. It already shows that they can make the payments. It definitely makes for an easy transaction. So we love rent replacement deals.
All right, awesome stuff. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
All right, want to give you guys some office updates. Let's see. First, as a reminder, I do this every month, but it's really important, especially this time of year as you're planning your business for 2023, to really take a look at all of the tools and services that you already have for your business. So we spell out all of our resources that you have available in 2 different places. So through LAER, if you go to laerrealty.com/success tools, you will find our LAER program and services guide. And that is just all the resources available to you at LAER. As a reminder, anywhere within that guide that has an underline, that is a hyperlink to more information. So you can learn how to use the tool. So on each page is a different tool that you have, and then you can click through and there's little tutorials on how to use that tool. As well, we have LAERagentservices.com, which we add and update every single month. We add new marketing pieces, new tools on there. So you have to go visit LAERagentservices.com. This morning, everybody should have received our November newsletter. We're on our 4th newsletter. I want to encourage you. Our team worked hard at putting all this information together for you in bite-sized chunks each month. There's so much content in here, not only about like unbelievable tools and training. So we cover in each newsletter one LAER tool. We have a little Q&A section. We let you know what's happening with your fellow team members, but also we give you tech updates, like cool technology, different things to incorporate safety into your business. So this is like a quick 4-page newsletter with tons of resources to continue to grow your business. I sent out an email as well today that we're putting in orders this morning for the pies. So if you are participating in our pie event, that is that you're going to give out pies to your customer base, you got to get your order in like right now. LAERrealty.com/Thanksgiving. I've sent out the email a couple times with all the steps on how to plan a Thanksgiving pie event for your customers. As you're thinking about 2023, think about how you can better invest in the people who already know, like, and trust you. Take away some of the resources. If you're out there buying leads, for example, invest that money into the people who already know, like, and trust you, because they are your unpaid sales force. So get your order in for your pies at LAERrealty.com this morning, because we are placing the order. Wanted to also make sure everybody knew that we were recently featured in the Boston Globe in the Women in Power section. So on the left side, you'll see a little article with some of the amazing female leaders we have at LAER. And then on the right side, you'll see our favorite closing attorney, Nicole, was also featured in the Women in Power section of the Boston Globe. So that was last weekend's Boston Globe. Next up, we wanted to make sure everybody is receiving our new social media. So this all came from you guys. We have committees that meet every single month, and I always say, like, everything good at our company is a byproduct of our agents telling us what is needed for their businesses. So I want to make sure that everybody has been receiving by email and text our new LAER agent social media system. So with that, I'm going to have Sergio do a little demo for you.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to share my screen. Let me show you. Okay, there we go. Right. So as Stacy mentioned, we have a completely new system for our social media. So before, you can still get your social media on the Career Den, and we will post that ahead of time, for the ones that want to see all of that ahead of time. But we are also now reminding you every week. So every week on Monday, you will receive an email that looks just like this with social media posts for the week. And not just the social media posts, we're also including the captions, the suggested captions. I know some real estate agents were asking, I have the images, but I don't know what to write. So even if you don't use everything, you might not use all the hashtags, all the emoji. It's a great starting point. So you have a good direction to go. So again, you'll receive an email like this at the start of every week. This is what it looks like on your desktop. It's very easy. You just click on download. We're also including Canva templates if you want to go in and change the logo, personalize it. And also, if you have Canva Pro, if you want to schedule this out as well, you can always schedule out because you do have the original Canva document. The captions themselves, it's just copy and paste. You can do that very easily. So in the Career Den too, we are posting these So there's several places you can get these. So you'll get the email. You will get the career done here. See, we have our November social media posts. In the career then, we have one link to our new LAER Marketing Center, which if you go up here, if you'll see social media posts, you'll see November, December is coming up. You'll see that as well. And here, if you want to just go ahead and do all of the weeks or look for certain categories, these are all of the posts for the month. Now, before we were posting, I believe it was like 12 to 15 posts for the whole month. Now, with the help of Renee, who has recently joined our marketing team, we have 37 different posts. This includes things like Facebook and Instagram stories, material for buyers, sellers, mindset, and you're easily able to go in, click on these categories, and choose a post that works. Now, this is very easy to use. You just click on download image to download the image. We have a button for downloading the Canva template. And if you want to copy the text, right, you can always highlight, hit copy, but you can also click on this copy text button. And then when you create your post, you are able to just post. Now, this comes in handy because this site here that we created also works on mobile. And that kind of leads me to the next thing. Let me see if I can connect to my mobile device here. You will also get a text from us. So let me open up this Zoom thing. I think it kicked me out. Let me show you what it looks like on your phone. 1 second, I'm just connecting here.
While you do that, Sergio,
Yeah.
I played with it yesterday, so I was just curious about how easy it was. I went to the text. So, by the way, if you're a LAER agent and you're not receiving this by text once a week, please email us at happyagent@laerrealty.com so we can look into it. But we're sending out a mass text at the beginning of each week to everybody so that you have it. So yesterday I was just playing with it and I took the veterans post about the veteran loan programs. So I basically did what you're going to show us. I opened the link, I downloaded, I just saved the image to my phone, and then I pressed the button to copy the text, and it literally took 2 seconds to post an awesome social media post. So think about that, doing that 37 times a month. How
Right.
different will your business look next year if you set up a system, even if you're only using half of these? So
Yeah, so like you said, you get a text just like this. All you do is click on the link. You can tap on the link. It takes you to the week, right? So we have week 2. You can scroll just like this. And if you see one that you like, for example, this keys to buying at home, you can tap on download image. On iOS, you do have to hold your thumb down and save it to photos. Now we go back and we can grab the caption, and it's very easy. You can just click on copy text. And then if we go into our Instagram account, we can just tap that. We already have our image, so we can just keep clicking through. And then for our caption, we just paste, and that's it. We have our whole caption here. Some of these do include things like message me, where you can include your phone number, your email. Obviously, you want to customize that. Or if you don't want to include that, you can also just remove it. And then when you're done, you just tap OK and then share. And just like that, you made the post. Then you can go back to your Safari window and go to the next post. Again, we're also including both Facebook and Instagram story images. And it's the same process. You just tap save to photos, and then you can post. For the text itself, if you don't want to receive the text, you can always just type stop and we'll take you out of the list. And then you'll also still just get the email as well.
So
Awesome.
super easy to do. We had mentioned at previous sales meetings that agents have asked us, like, are there services where I can just go pay somebody to do all of my social media? We're gonna eventually get to that level for agents that want it, like a paid service for agents that don't want to. But first, we wanted to create a system to make it as simple as possible. And under our new system, I don't feel anybody should have to go out and pay a company to do your social media posts. Because like I said, yesterday, I posted the Veterans Mortgage Program to my Facebook just to play with it. And it literally took like a couple of minutes. All of it is done. It looks like I spent a long time putting my posts together. So there's really no reason why any agent should have to go out and pay a company to do this for you. Although that's our goal. We're going to have the next step. First, we wanted to perfect this for you guys to make it as simple as possible. So you can go spend your money elsewhere, like saying thank you to all of your past customers. And then for agents that do really want to have somebody else just do all of the posts, we're gonna also be offering some additional services in the coming months. But this is a game changer, in my opinion, for you guys. I am friends on Facebook with many of our agents, and I see many of you are already using this, but great content at your fingertips. Takes 2 minutes to make a post, super easy to do. And then as always, we love your feedback on any of the social media stuff. We also want to announce that we have a new Giphy channel. So these are, did you add this to the LAER agent services?
Nope, but I can add it right now.
I'm gonna take you over. So Giphies are like, how do you describe them? Like little flash videos?
They're little gifts that you can use. So if you're going to post like an Instagram story and you want to add like a little open house sign
Yeah.
or just sold, you can see our Giphy channel and then download it and then put it on your post.
All right. So Sergio's updating our LAER agent services section right now, so you'll be able to find these. But our marketing team made all kinds of cute little Giphies, so you can use them in your posts. Craig thankfully made it all the way to Orlando, since he's speaking there this weekend. He had to be there, and we're happy to report he's made it to Orlando already before the storm. But he wanted to make sure you guys knew that if you're in New England, that he has an upcoming program through Realtor Association of Central Mass. The Fundamentals of Sustainable Homes is coming up Friday, December 9th from 9 to 11. And it is a CE class. So that's going to be at Realtor Association of Central Mass in Auburn at their classroom. So if you can make it to that. Also, we put out a challenge last month. There is this sustainability class that Craig helped put together, and it is available at learning.realtor. So you got to go to learning.realtor, and then you can just do a search of the name of the program. Whoops, I'm going to go back. Name of the program is Intro to Sustainability and Resiliency. And our goal was to have 100 agents take this program. I committed to taking the program. And it's a good idea for all of us, because I mentioned with the rising costs of energy and heating homes, etc., and cooling homes, it is going to be important for us to understand the impact of that on our buyers and sellers, and be able to direct them and have other alternatives. So we want to encourage everybody to head over. You can take this online. So our goal again is to have everybody, as many people as possible, take this. Our goal is 100 by the end of the year. Also posted this last week. Last week we closed on our new building for Athol. So it's right down the street. It's 146 Main Street. in Athol. Our goal is to be in there for January. We're getting a new paint job on it this week. And it needs some work inside, but this allows us an opportunity to have a really beautiful location in Athol with lots of room for expansion, new team members, etc. So super excited for our upcoming move. We also want to let everybody know we just moved our Burlington office. And by the way, if this office looks familiar to you, it's because we were in this building for about 5 years prior to moving directly next door. We moved directly next door, I think 3 years ago, and now we're back. So we moved back across the parking lot to just a space that has a little more room than where we were. We'll be doing an event soon to introduce you guys, little party for our new Burlington space. Okay, I've mentioned this before. We have all kinds of cool business planning tools here on our LAER Agent Services site. So if you go to laeragentservices.com, all kinds of awesome business planning tools. I'm going to be sending out a link that if you would like me to take a look at your business plan, I'm going to be sending out a link that you can upload your business plan, and I'll go through it and help you find some additional opportunities for your business in 2023. So it'll just be a link with an upload form so you can upload your plan, and then I'll take a look at it and help direct you on where some other opportunities might be for your business next year. Some additions we've added over the last 60 or so days. Because our entire company is powered by Google, we've been building out some really cool Google Forms and Google tracking spreadsheets for you guys. You can find them at laeragentservices.com. As well, I want to stress, I can't stress this enough, if you are an agent who has inventory building up and you have sellers that want open houses, we have agents that want open houses. So if you need a team member to do an open house for you, just go to this button on LAER Agent Services that says need open house coverage, click that, fill it out, and then it just notifies the agents in whichever offices you pick that there's an open house opportunity. We also have a broker open house notification button. So if you're doing a broker open house, we want our team to show up. So fill out the broker open house. These two forms basically email the local offices to let them know of the broker open house or the open house opportunity. I mentioned last month, we put together all kinds of cool fall marketing pieces to complement what you're already doing in your business. You can find those at laerrealty.com/fall marketing. They're all Canva templates. And I want to make sure that you guys stick around because in 1 hour, we have our How to Build a $10 Million Business program. So we're going to be interviewing 2 agents at different, both of them are super high performing real estate agents, one who's only been in the business for a couple of years. And so make sure to check out our How to Build a $10 Million Business. It's just a 1 hour interview where we pick the brain of agents who have already built successful businesses. And this is kind of cool too. This was a suggestion from our agents that Sergio said, why don't we turn the How to Build a $10 Million Business? If people want to re-listen to those, let's turn them into a podcast. So you can either take the live program that we're doing this afternoon, but also we're building out a podcast channel so that you can listen to those while you're driving around as well. We have a cool program coming up next Tuesday as well. Super interesting. There's a class we're doing called The Scary Truth About Skincare. This is thanks to our LAER Safety Committee. Very interesting. You will look, definitely the biggest thing that I took from reading the book, we're doing an interview with this author, is you will look very differently at sunscreen, for example. So I want to encourage everybody to participate in that program. You can find it on our LAER training calendar. You can find all the upcoming training classes at laerrealty.com/training. And as always, I know Cheryl and Nicole couldn't be here today because they are at closings, but we have a phenomenal closing team, and then tons of upcoming training classes we'd love for you guys to participate in. In the meantime, between now and next meeting, if you need to visit any LAER office, just go to laerrealty.com office access. If you need to get into an office or meet a customer after hours, as always, we're looking for agents to join our committees for 2023. So if you're interested in having a voice in the tools, training, technology, the marketing platforms we're using, go to laerrealty.com/committees. We'd love to have you sign up. And as always, if you need anything, please just email our Happy Agent team at happyagent@laerrealty.com. And we're happy to help with whatever you're working on in your business. Our next meeting will be December 14th. So with that, I want to thank everybody for your time today and have a great week.